All right. Welcome to my channel. All good things and all good time. Oh. My name is Craig Hamilton Bradley. In case I run for president. All right. Well, lots been going on. The Lahaina fire. Oh my God, it just never ends. This unnecessary drama. Anyway, so much has gone on in the last 24 hours. The mayor did a speech, a state of the county speech. I watched that. That's on YouTube if you want to watch it. I learned that Danilo passed away. He was the sweetest man ever. I didn't see his picture before, and I worked with him at the Ritz-Carlton. He was just the nicest man. We worked banquets together. He was a banquet server there, and so that made me cry, finding out somebody new died. But just weird watching the governor pat himself and everybody else on the back for working so hard to help us. The governor, everyone talking about like this, just talking about how they're the Red Cross is getting $500 million, right? I'd love to know how much of that goes to their administrative costs, right? They have a lot of volunteers that work volunteering, so they get free labor, and then they get fully reimbursed for everything they do, and then they pander for donations on our behalf. But they're getting $500 million, which is, what they complain about is the $1,000 a day it costs. Well, you shouldn't have to pay $1,000 a day to put us up. That seems like the hotels are getting rich, taking all the money. Is that how it's supposed to work? The people who are supposed to get all the FEMA help are the hotels, the hotel owners? Is that where all the money's supposed to go? Because that's where it's going. Meanwhile, they cut us off on unemployment. 6 months out, unemployment. The only thing most of us had going for us, because we had 1% unemployment, and if you've been at your job, I guess, more than 6 months, you automatically qualified. So probably 90% of the people from the fire who worked qualified and received unemployment. And they didn't think to continue that. All this smoke they're blowing up our butts about how they're helping everybody. And Maui Strong 808 raised almost $200 million. Okay. Help the people. My God, if you take 150 million, 60 million, and keep 30, you could give $20,000 to everybody, every person that qualified for the United Way money. It was weird in this recent speech, 12,000 something people were affected, but 7,000 people qualified for the United Way money. I didn't get qualified for the, anyway, it's all this trying to disqualify people. Oh, right, you got to pass a background check in order to get into this lease program. Oh, so what if someone doesn't pass your background check? What happens to them? You're just out of luck? Is that it? It's just, which is rude, right? And then of course, I've been told, oh, well, you're going to be expected to you're going to have to show that you're proving that you're looking for a job and looking for a place to live in your next place, right? It's like we're being treated like homeless people, right? And I don't think they're going to let me have my son over. First of all, I'm on my son's FEMA account. For some reason, he's not on mine. I didn't set it up. I don't know why they did stuff like that, but they did. So if we want to live together, which would be save money for those, we have to give money back. So basically, we're going to have to live separately. And I think they're going to tell us we can't even visit each other in each other's freaking residences. And they told me they had a place for me 2.5 months ago. And still, I'm just waiting for a call. They sent me to go meet somebody at a place once, and then they didn't even show up. Anyway, yeah. So 500 million, 200 million, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, like $1 billion out there, right? If at the very beginning, if we just busted our ass to build some small little tiny home communities with all the donations people were offering, there were tiny home builders that were offering us deals, right? Tiny homes, small homes. We could build and then you don't have to give us anything. Just mortgage that shit to me, right? With the money you had, you could have even bought the land, but you get the land donated, and then what? It costs 50, 60, 70 grand. A mortgage on that is $300, $400, $500. That's what our country needs. A bunch of small homes where we just get the land somehow, and then we just build it at cost and sell it at cost and mortgage it to somebody, and only somebody who doesn't previously own a home or currently own a home, right? So that everyone who doesn't own a home has an option. If you already own a home, that's not for you. And then just require them to, you can't sell it for more than $10,000 more than you pay for it, right? So even if you want to cash in, you can only cash in for 10 grand, right? So the incentive is to buy it, live there, pay your mortgage, and enjoy $350 a month expenses, right? That's what our country needs. That's where our inflation really is at. It's these stupid corporations freaking soaking up all the freaking properties. The individuals that own 30 properties. It's all good if you're wealthy and you want to own 2, 3, 4 houses. Good for you, man. But if you want to own 30 and then prostitute them all, you're a dick. Make your money some other way. God. And then these real estate investment trusts, all the banks just soaking them up. That's what's screwing our inflation, is the corporations, right? Predominantly run by Republicans that would just love to make it look like, put stress on all of the workforce. And that's what they do when rents go up. And that's where most of the inflation exists. And that's why we have a homeless problem. Anyway. So yeah, we're almost $1 billion in and we're still going, just getting started. And it could have, what if you just offered every person, which would have probably, you could have got them to sign off on not suing too, probably. If you just offered every person $100 grand, that'd only been $700 million. You'd have saved money already. And all those people probably would have just taken that, figured out their own lives, and all would be well. Anyway, so now me and everybody is becoming broke and poor really quick. But I gotta say, I'm in a slightly different situation, as I just received a donation that is life-changing. I mean, for me, it doesn't take much to change my life. But like, okay, so there've been 3 donations in the last month, and one of them is this one amazing person who donates on the first of every month. Don't know if that's going to continue, but God bless it. It's amazing. Okay, it's life-changing. And that's just one amazing woman. And then this other woman is also just, I mean, like, there are wonderful people. There's a wonderful person just donated $100 to me or whatever, which is a lot. But what about the people donating 10, 20 times that in a shot? 3 donations in the last month. One of them just hit 3 days ago. I just noticed it yesterday. I was jumping for joy in here. A person donated $2,000 to me in one shot. I mean, oh my God. Anyway, I didn't see that coming. It's life-changing. Just when I was really freaking getting bummed, depressed, stressed, that hit. And I was like, whoa, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, oh, I don't have to be so worried maybe. Anyway, life's good. I have so much to appreciate. I told you, if you watched me right after the fire, like when I was living in my car the first night, I said, I'm going to get lucky, because I always do. I can't really control my good luck. Someone once said to me, it's one of the greatest quotes ever. I wish I could remember this circumstance, but someone once said to me on my first bicycle ride across the United States, I did it 3 times. First time someone said, you know, if you smile at the world will smile back. And God dang it, that's the best saying I ever did hear. I tell you what. So, yeah. And, United Way donated $7 million. Meanwhile, you can go to United Way. They haven't donated anything to anybody for 6 months. And you can go to their website right now and donate to the victims of the Maui wildfire. Where's that money going to go? Oh, they're another fucking pile of shit organization saying that they're going to help us with healthcare. We don't need help with healthcare. Again, let me remind you, everyone who works 20 hours a week here has free healthcare. If you don't have a job, you can get Quest for free. That's our great local healthcare backup system. Now, because other states suck, unlike us, because all the other states, a lot of them suck, we have Obamacare, which is super cool. So if you don't work 20 hours a week, if you don't want Quest, you can get Obamacare, right, for $20 a month or whatever it is, right? If you're like me, I'm sure it would be damn near close to free, right? So we don't need any financial assistance put towards healthcare or mental health. You want to help us with our mental health? Help us buy toothpaste and gasoline and a shirt and right. And in our new place, we're going to need to buy food. Not everybody is ready to go back to work or is physically capable or mentally capable or whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of different situations going on. Everyone's got a different one. They all had their own terrifying experience. They're all having their own, deep challenges. I think nearly 20 people committed suicide already, yeah, all this fucking smoke, all these politicians are blowing about how it's going to be a long haul. We're going to have to help these people for a long time. So meanwhile, on April 10th, the money runs out. If we're not out of here, we don't have a new place by April 10th, we might just be kicked out because that $500 million that the Red Cross has taken, that money's all used up by April 10th. So that's weird. Maybe we're getting kicked out in 20 days, or maybe we're going to get in the places, but they're going to separate my son and I into 2 different places, even though we don't want that. My son would love to have me doing his laundry, and if I'm gonna have to maybe do his laundry, but bring it to him, and I won't be able to go inside his house. I mean, come on. Anyway, we'll game the situation, my son and I. We'll figure out what we can get away with. We'll break every rule we can without being noticed. If that means it's breaking a rule to just spend time together. My son's 20, but because of the pandemic, he's like a 17-year-old going on 21. You know what I mean? But he's growing up fast. He's working full time. He's got a kick-ass job. He's doing great. His last paycheck was almost $2,500 after taxes, 18. Before taxes, my son, as a busboy, is clearing 60 grand a year. God bless him, maybe more. Yeah, God bless him. And he's working hard, and he's being told he's working hard, and he's working at one of those restaurants where bussers still can earn more money if they work harder. So harder he works, more money he makes. It's a beautiful thing. So, oh God. Locally, we have this Channel 2 News. There's one guy on Channel 2 News. I just want to mention him because he's got the coolest name. He's the coolest news broadcaster in America. CNN should pick this guy up. Anyway, his name is Chris Latronic. Good surfer, cool guy. If there's one guy on TV, because I've been watching all the news, trying to find something for you guys to talk about and tell you about. And I see a lot of Chris Latronic. I wonder if Chris Latronic smokes the chronic. Anyway, that's just one guy. Coolest name in broadcasting. I do want to say thanks to Manitowoc. I think Manitowoc is a company that also makes huge equipment for construction and mining. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I followed Wall Street, but they're the ones making these ice machines. And these ice machines, again, 8 parts per million. Oh, somebody asked me, or was curious. Let me remind y'all, okay? For the exorbitant cost of $24, you can get a zero water also. And with it comes a tester. That's how I'm testing water. It's not complicated. $24.58. Okay? Yeah, I'm not a paid advertiser. But this is your greatest travel companion ever. And, the parts per million coming out of our faucet's been 500 parts per million. It just dropped to 320. But still, before it was 100. It's nice to know that, right? But then also nice to know that the ice, and test that, comes out 8 parts per million cherry. So, and that kind of makes sense if you think about it. If you're an ice machine company, you can't control the water around the world that's coming into your machines, right? You're going to put these machines all over the world, but you can control the water that comes out of them, right? And it's a low flow, slow flow. So they've got really good filters, and I'm guessing that that's a standard for Manitowoc ice machines all over the world. But if it isn't, right now at this hotel, if you want to drink the clean, good water, just melt ice. I'm constantly getting another bucket of ice, right? Pouring water in there to try to melt it, pouring that into my zero water. And your zero water lasts a lot longer if you put cleaner water into it. So that's your vested interest, right? Put clean water into your zero water, and Yeah. You get the kind water, brah. Okay. All right. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard, what an embarrassment this woman has turned out to be. What a piece of shit. She's the only politician I ever donated money to because I really thought she was the one. Man. And now she's turned into this fool, this Republican fool. Oh, it's so sad. Our local girl, Tulsi Gabbard, has turned into a Luciferian white supremacist. I was thinking, they're not white supremacists, they're white inferiorists, right? They're not white Christian nationalists, they're white Luciferian nationalists. Oh, it's so sad. Anyway, she is hoping to become freaking, I'm not even going to say that piece of shit's name, Vice President Tulsi Gabbard, our local girl. What the fuck is she thinking? What is she doing? Holy shit. Pierce Brosnan was in the news because he violated the rules at Yellowstone. He's also in the news because he's known for being the shittiest tipper in Malibu. The shittiest tipper in Malibu is Pierce Brosnan. How is that? You're making pretty good money, Pierce Brosnan. Why you tip like shit? Anyways, that's his reputation. I lived and worked in Malibu as a server at 3 different restaurants, and that was his just reputation by all. I never served him, but it seems worth mentioning. I have no address, which sucks, right? The post office pulled they were collecting our fucking mail for us, right? And our old residence address. And so that's still my address. And now they are just sending everything back to sender, which just sucks. They didn't have to do that. They could keep that going longer, right? But they just want to force us to have to make some change. Anyway, my God. Oh, local artist. A lot of you probably already know who she is. She's just got the most beautiful voice. Sings love songs that are so sweet. You just hear her voice, and then you see her sing. If you watch her videos, she's so beautiful. But and friends with Kimmy Minor, who I mentioned before. But Anuhea. She's been seen by millions and millions of people, but there's a pretty good chance a lot of you out there just have never heard of Anuhea. So if you like here, Anuhea, you'll enjoy her music, I promise you. Oh, you know what I was thinking? It's a great time for me to get on TikTok. I've been meaning to, and now that it's controversial and going to get kicked off, maybe it's finally time for me to do that. Anyway, that's interesting. Laura Trader has taken over the RNC on behalf of her stepdad, Davis Jefferson Trainwreck, the traitor, former president number 45, the traitor Trainwreck. They have just corrupted the Republican Party like it's never been corrupted. It was already super corrupt, and now it's just like the worst deep state corruption ever, which has always been where the deep state is, right? That's why they always blame other people being the deep state, because they are, right? That Tara Reid, that woman who blamed Biden for throwing her against the wall and trying to kiss her. Remember that? Yeah. She defected to Russia. She took all the money they paid her and went to Russia. Now she's being treated like a queen, and she's living with that redheaded lady who got convicted of spying on America down there at Mar-a-Lago. Just think of all those documents and all the spies at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump selling secrets to Putin. What a traitor. Anyway, crazy. Then we got Justice Thomas. Boy, if I become president, I'm going to make Anita Hill the next Supreme Court justice. She's a law professor. She's fully qualified and would be a far better Supreme Court justice than that Uncle Trader Thomas, Justice Uncle Thomas. That's what his nephew calls him, Uncle Tom S. Anyway, God, Justice Thomas, what a piece of shit that guy is. Holy, so freaking corrupt and by a Nazi, right? If I collect baseball cards and basketball cards because I love basketball and baseball. Harlan Crow, the guy that's bribed and given millions of dollars to Justice Thomas, the traitor, and his traitor wife, that guy loves Nazi memorabilia. He collects it because he loves it, because he loves Nazis. Oh my God. You can't make this shit up. It's unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Oh, and that woman, Katie Britt, boy, there's a reason to feel great about being single. If you're a guy and you saw that psycho Republican woman talking after Biden's fiery speech, go Joe Biden. America loves you, bro. Holy shit. Did you not think to yourself, I am so glad I'm single. I do not want to marry a woman like that. Right? Republican women are so scary. So scary. And they've been, manipulated into thinking lies are true. And what I love is when Republicans get off the plane here and they're like, is that my ass? No, that's a hole in the ground. Is that my ass? No, that's a hole in the ground. They can't ever tell their ass from a hole in the ground. And so it's just funny when they get off the plane here because you can really see that, them looking to try to differentiate between their ass and a hole in the ground. Yeah, that's your typical Republican. And by the way, if you're from another country, that is a saying here in the United States of America. That guy's so stupid he couldn't tell his ass from a hole in the ground. Anyway, if you ain't never heard it, I'm so fat. I'm so fat. I think I've passed Carson Daly fat, and I'm headed towards Guillermo fat. We love Guillermo. He's a sweet little man, very adorable. But I do not need a distended belly like his, which is what I'm headed for right now. So I really got to get on it. I mean, it is just, there's no excuses. I got to get out there and exercise. I love a day when I can exercise so much I can literally lose 10 pounds, right? Like swim 2 miles, ride a bike 20, and go for a 6-mile steep hike. And at the end of that day, you literally burn 5 or 10 pounds. It's pretty cool. Gina Rodriguez, I know a lot of you ladies love that lady from Jane's a Virgin. She stayed here back in the day when I was working at the Ritz-Carlton. I just want to tell you, she is the sweetest woman, like in real life. And it was funny how all the women at the Ritz-Carlton knew her and loved her, like, and knew who her boyfriend was even, and he was with her, and they're like, oh, I recognize her boyfriend. And I was like, oh, okay. Anyway, I didn't realize how much women love Gina Rodriguez until she visited, and she's so down to earth, right? There is nothing stuck up or pretentious or whatever. She's got perspective on her success. Pretty cool. Oh, so gee whiz heck. One funny thing. There's these videos, design fail videos. Well, I just took my daughter on a road trip, and for the second time in my life, I encountered one of these design failures. That whole Embassy Suites, I assume, has these toilets that are like this far off the ground, like 15 inches off the ground, which means there's this much clearance between the toilet seat and the water, right? So even women, when they try to wipe, their hand gets in the water. It's gross. It's not really water after you use it. Oh, but us guys, holy shit, you want that room to be so cold. Because if, your testes can drop down into that water, and that is the grossest thing ever. Oh my God. And the fact that anybody ever built a toilet that short, what the fuck were they thinking, right? Oh my God. Anyway, Embassy Suites, if you stay there, don't be surprised if, it's the most haunting feeling when you can feel that the pubic hairs on your balls are touching the toilet water, and you're like, oh, I gotta keep it cold in here, man. You turn the air conditioning up as high as you can, because if it's warm in your room, you are in trouble. Anyway, short toilets. That's kind of a funny thing, right? There's a hotel down here in Harakawai that has the same toilets, and oh my God, yeah, that's a funny thing. Boy, Laura Trump's face is all messed up, isn't it? My God, it's just hard to tell what the hell you're looking at there. If you ever hear a real dumb shit, and only dumb shits would say stuff like this, a real dumb shit, right, who's just stupid, they'll say something about election integrity, which we have election integrity. Anytime that's ever mentioned, that's just a lie, a distracting, stupid lie. We've always had election integrity. There's no need for a focus on election integrity because we have it. Republicans are trying to destroy it while they complain about it. And that's what Laura Trump's now working on, election integrity, which is nothing. It's not a real thing. It's a lie. And that's the whole focus of the Republican Party now, election integrity. Brr, and making sure the fucking traitor, criminal, rapist gets back in the White House. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Again, women, you're going to save us. So you got to tell two friends to vote, right? You're more than all the people in our country. You are the most college educated. More than 50% of the women in America are college graduates. You are more than 50% of our electorate. The people who vote are women. And we can push that number up even higher. And since these dipshit Republicans have come after you and they're murdering women with their fucking abortion policies, so disgusting, so ignorant. Yeah, women, you got to rise up and fight for yourself because stupid fucking men are voting against your rights, I guess. It's the only way that shit passes. If fucking asshole men, controlling men that want to take away your rights, they vote against. They should have no right to vote on something that only pertains to women in the first place. Although that's an aside. There's a market for it. It's always going to be there. How do we want to make it look? Do we want women to die from it or be healthy? Right? Do you want your daughter to die because she got pregnant, or your wife, or your mom? I don't think so. But, you know, those Luciferian white nationalist inferiorists, they want to fucking murder women with abortion policies and murder your children with their gun policies. It's just ignorant shit. I still haven't done it. I got a whole set of solutions to our gun violence problem. Without taking away any guns other than military-grade weapons. Jimmy Kimmel, we love Jimmy Kimmel. My son, because I live with my 20-year-old son, right? Because I never stop trying to make a joke. And I self-entertain. One of the things I've been having fun doing is when he's in the toilet, right? The door is paper thin. And I'll come up, start talking to him, and then I'll say, like, you know, because he can't stop me from talking to him. He's right there. But then I'll say, oh, I got a call on my app. It's the Toilet Buddy app. Did you need someone to talk to? I must be the closest one. I tell him, you know, like it's like I'm an Uber driver, but I'm the Toilet Buddy. Here to talk to you while you're sitting on the toilet. Or when he's in the bath. Oh, your bath buddy's here. What would you like to talk about? No. Oh, Dad, get out of here. Go away. Or I'll say, you know, things that you could never say to a child, but your adult son, you know, like, you know, the inappropriate jokes, molestation jokes, incest jokes. You know. Anyway, I'm just trying to toughen him up, you know, for the real world, because he's going to have friends that, you know, want to give him a hard time. And so, yeah, anyway. And boy, what a weirdo Joe Rogan has turned out to be. My God, he seemed like a sensible guy. He's got an attention span. I don't. He can read books. I think if I start reading books and playing chess, it might help my long-term attention span capacity. So that's the plan. Try to get my focus down to a book and the games of chess. And, you know, try to reshape this brain because, man, my attention span has been blown up. And I think part of that is, you know, some of this stuff that's happened recently. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., what a freaking weirdo he is. And, oh, my God, considering Aaron Rodgers and Jesse Ventura as his vice and him talking about the American people, he's so disconnected. That guy lives the most weirdest privileged life, and he's friends with Jeffrey Epstein, been on the island a bunch of times, friends with Bill Cosby. Did you hear his interview? He's like, oh, Harvey Weinstein's been in my house. Bill Cosby's been in my house. O.J. Simpson's been in my house. Harvey Weinstein's been in my house. Or Jeffrey Epstein's been in my house. I'm friends with all those guys. As if to normalize the fact that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I mean? It just made him seem real creepy. Yeah, that's what the crazy freaking elitists, you know, anyway, which all their problems never had to be their problems. If those guys had just gone to Nevada, if you don't know it, prostitution is legal in Nevada. You can go to Nevada, and if you're rich, like all those people just mentioned, you can just pay a beautiful woman to have sex with you. You don't have to be some rapist or some weird creep that, yeah, I mean, all the different ways those guys raped women or murdered them or whatever. It's just unnecessary. You can just work hard and go pay a woman that would normally not have sex with you, maybe. But she'll gladly take your money. And in Nevada, they get paid half. There's no pimp exploiting them. They go apply for the job. They're tested once a week. It's, I think, maybe the solution to some of our world's problems when it comes to these weird sex criminals, you know. I think if sex criminals used legalized prostitution more, maybe they wouldn't be sex criminals so much. Anyway, I don't know. It's just a hypothesis. Funny how, so Texas is starting to take away contraception. Republicans are at odds with everything that made high school and college fun, right? Okay, cool. So in high school and college, sex is fun, okay? And what makes sex fun is protecting yourself with condoms. They're trying to take that away. And then, or women taking the pill. That was pretty exciting. You know, if you had a girlfriend, steady girlfriend, she was on the pill. Woo, that was exciting, right? Republicans want to take that away. And then if you fucked up and the pill didn't work or your condom didn't work and you got to go pregnant when you were 16, okay, yeah, you could get a safe abortion. That woman would still be able to plan a family later in life, have many kids. There's this one woman on Facebook that I knew when she was 19. She dated my friend Jim McFarland. He knocked her up. She's 19 years old. She got pregnant. She went and got an abortion for herself. And now she's this right-wing Christian woman with her perfect family who's against women's right for an abortion. That shit is fucked up. And she's the one person on Facebook, I think, that's a Republican that I have not unfriended. I'm keeping my distance, staying away from the dangerous people. More dangerous than like Muslim terrorists or the thugs who steal from stores, are the right-wing traitors who send their kids to high school with a Glock they just bought them so it can murder the kids at school. And now those parents are going to prison. Oxford, Michigan, right? The Crumblies. Freaking Republican, hardcore, Second Amendment Republicans murdering fellow Americans. Yeah, I don't want them to have all the guns they want. It's funny how the people that want all the guns are the people that we probably can't trust with guns because they're just not safe. Anyway, so at the beginning of one of my videos, I put the word ho, which is a local word, and I'd like to talk about it. So you see bumper stickers here. I might just do videos of bumper stickers, short ones, because people make their own here. There was a guy a couple doors down from me, had a bumper sticker on his window, right? He had a little Japanese fast car. It said, all of a sudden, right? Like if you pulled up and then you looked over and you read all of a sudden and then you raced, you know? Or anyway, I've seen ho, ho. Anyway, nobody ever says ho. No, it's never said ho, and it's not a reference to women. It's a word of surprise, and it is always taken up an octave with an exclamation point. It's ho, ho, brah, ho, ho, ho. Anyway, kind of funny. That's why it's the first word on that one video. I thought that'd be funny. Ho. Anyway, if you're from here and you saw that, you would get it. Oh, I saw Auntie Jan, the hula teacher. Her brother passed away in the fire. Her 93-year-old mother lost her son. He just wouldn't leave the house. There were these people that were like determined to go down with the ship, which, man, is intense. It's heavy. Sweetest lady ever, though. Known her for 25 years. Just a beautiful, cakey hula teacher. And she worked at Hula Grip for 25 years. That's how I knew her. She's known my kids since they were born. And just the sweetest lady ever. And I feel bad because I don't know her last name. But anyway, so, you know, it's random who you run into, who you see. And, you know, a lot hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of people and their kids have learned hula from this lady, Auntie Jan, when they're, and other local kids too. But she's just been that wonderful person who's been doing that wonderful work. But yeah, man, I don't get these Republicans taking away everything that made high school fun. Condoms, the pill, and if you fucked up, an abortion, a safe one, an affordable one, right? That's what made college and high school fun. Those things. And that's what the Republicans don't want you to have, including weed. So I got a story. I'm not going to tell it to you now, but it's interesting because it pertains to one of the few books I've had the attention span to read in my life was The Catcher in the Rye, 7th grade, Mr. Sharp's class at Miller Creek. And in The Catcher in the Rye, Holden Caulfield has a conversation with a prostitute, right? And so on my bicycle rides across the United States, the second time I drove across I-80 through Nevada, and in Elko, I went to a brothel. I had one $5 Budweiser, and a girl said, "You want to go talk?" And in order to talk about their business, you have to go into a room. And so I went, and I only had like $30, so there was no way I could be a patron. But we had a conversation, and she talked to me about her life as a prostitute, as a sex worker. And after a few minutes, then we went back out to the bar, and I finished my beer, and then got back out on the saddle and got out on the long road to the next town, which is always all across Nevada. It's like 50, 60, 70 miles to the next town, so it's kind of brutal in between. Yeah, Elko, Nevada. And then on my third trip, I went into Donna's Ranch in Wells, Nevada. Again, I didn't have enough money to patronize the ladies, so there was no way I could. But they took me in overnight, and that's the whole story. So I'm gonna tell that story because another time. And I'm gonna take you there. We're gonna go to legal brothels, and I'm gonna show them to you because I think they're interesting. But this place, this place took me in. The ladies invited me to have breakfast with them in the morning. Dinner, they offered me the dinner that they all just had. They gave me this room they called the drunk tank to sleep in. And I spent, I think, 18, 20 hours in a brothel. Anyway, I'll tell that story another time. It's just interesting. But it sort of relates to this book that's banned now by stupid fucking Republicans, banning Catcher in the Rye. I read that in the 7th grade. I mean, maybe it did screw me up. Maybe that's why I'm so screwed up. I read The Catcher in the Rye. Yeah, that's being burned in the dumb shit Republican places where they're afraid. There's a woman who wrote a children's book. Her name is gay. And they banned that book because her name is gay. Her last name is gay. Oh, my God. It's just, you can't make this shit up. Who needs to write jokes when you got dumb shit Republicans doing everything stupid? Meanwhile, they're telling the kids, "Oh yeah, don't you read those books?" And, "Oh, don't you trust higher education?" Yeah, how's that going to fare well for you guys? What are you going to have, just no fucking brains and a whole bunch of guns? And how's that going to work? Anyway. Yeah, and I got 2 Marin County jokes. I grew up in Marin County. I did some videos from there. It's an affluent place. And I've told these jokes 100,000 times to my tables. But when you grow up in Marin County, unless your parents give you their house or trust fund, you got to assume you're moving somewhere else. Like Maui's literally affordable compared to Marin County. And it's not affordable. And the other one is, if you grow up in Marin County, you end up in one of 2 places. You either go to Stanford or drug rehab, right? There's not a lot in between. And that's the joy and the curse of having money. Kids with a lot of money can get in a lot more trouble with it and screw their lives up pretty good and go to drug rehab. Or they can get a lot of private lessons, have parents involved in their lives, and end up at Stanford, right? I mean, so those are my 2 Marin County jokes. And yeah, oh my God. And in the next episode, I will deconstruct my Karen joke, because I got this joke where I suggest we need a new Karen. And I suggest that the name we substitute for the new Karen is her sister Krista. And I'll explain. And which is really an amalgamation of two Karens. There's the Karen that was my ex-girlfriend, and then there's a Karen who is my ex-wife's sister. And the funny thing, the coolest thing ever is I'm friends with my ex-wife's sisters, which feels really good because they're the aunts to my children and they love their niece and nephew, and it makes me so happy. Just makes me so happy. And I'm sure, like, it's got to annoy the shit out of my ex-wife, who just never stops being not as nice as she could be. Yeah. Anyway. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time. Let's hope they try to help people here. You know, help them out. We don't need someone to talk to. And if we do, we already got that covered. Stop pretending you're a good person or a good organization by donating money to some fucking healthcare fucking bullshit. Okay? You want to help these fucking people? Put money in their pockets so they can live dignified fucking lives in the interim right now. Oh, I can't believe we just let unemployment lapse. Oh, and meanwhile, we're being told, you know, oh, you got to be doing this and doing that. Are you looking for a job? What are you doing? We're not going to be here for you forever. Meanwhile, and then in the news, they're like, oh, we're going to be there for these people. And meanwhile, they're trying to force all the attrition they can. Anybody that wanted to move anywhere, or they've offered me many times, do you want to move somewhere? You want to go to another island? You want to go to the mainland? We'll help you. We'll help you. Okay, lots of people have done that. And so now, like I was just told, there's a lot of job openings, right? Yeah, well, why are they trying to force everyone out of here to save money on all the FEMA thing, right? But there goes our workforce as you're fucking trying to create attrition and get rid of these people and force us out slowly while you're telling the world a different story. Anyway, those are my frustrations. I'm going to visit with my homies today. Suleiman and Spud and Savar and Robert visiting from Minnesota. All guys I know in a long time. I play fantasy football with these guys, and it's good stuff. Good stuff. And Spud is on board, and we should be doing a nice long talk with Spud, which is going to be compelling. Long talk. And that's going to be really cool. He was the president of Lahaina Canoe Club, amongst others. So is my son's boss, who I once worked for, Buffalo Weaver. He was once the president of Lahaina Canoe Club as well. Oh, I ran into Mad Dog Manning, Mike Manning. That was cool. He's still kicking. He was on his way to dialysis. Great guy. And I saw his daughter Joy, and I ran into one of his big boys. His two sons are twins, and when they were at Lahaina Luna, one was a quarterback and the other was a receiver, and they're both like 6'3", tall, strong kids, now in their 30s. Good guys. Small town stuff. Oh, real quick, I'll save that for another time. All right, thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time, and thanks for doing no harm and no crime. And if you want to have a great life, look, it's easy, right? Avoid the wrong relationships, especially Republican women. They're scary, scary. Do you see that scary lady? Oh, anyway, Katie Britt, whoo, man. So, yeah, avoid the wrong relationships. Avoid anyone who's violent. If someone's violent, do not include them in your life. Period. Do not gamble. Oh, Midas Touch, right? Who's affiliated, they're friends with Colin Kaepernick. Okay, Midas Touch, just advertise for Prize Picks. Prize Picks is advertising to the African-American black community to gamble, like shoving liquor and guns and crack and menthol cigarettes isn't enough. Let's shove, and they try to make it look like it's going to make you smart if you gamble. No, it doesn't make you smart. It might make you want to commit suicide someday. So my advice to you is don't gamble. Avoid the wrong relationships. Avoid violent people. Don't put anything up your nose. There's no such thing as recreational drugs anymore. It's Russian roulette drugs. Why do you want to die? There's nothing fun, nothing partying about dying. So nothing up your nose. Don't take pills. I was just thinking about my friend Chris Draper, who died from just taking a pill right after high school. Great guy, Chris Draper. And his life was cut short from a stupid fucking pill. So don't take pills. Don't get drunk, but if you do, certainly don't drive, right? You know, drinking's okay. Have 2, 3 maybe, but stop, right? Alcohol can fuck your life up, right? You get drunk and then wake up in jail and never see the light of day again because you didn't know what you did, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. If you could just avoid those things, you know, do no harm, do no crime, avoid all those things that can bring you down and destroy your life, the odds are pretty good. The odds are in your favor. You're going to have a really good life. So, have a good life. And thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time. And thanks for supporting my channel. All of you wonderful, nice people. I hope by telling you about people supporting my channel that it doesn't dissuade you from wanting to support my channel more. I thought about that. You know, I could try to act like I'm just always struggling and suffering and poor, which I sort of am. But, I mean, you people watching this are changing that shit and changing my attitude and my mind. And when I get into this place and I have to prove that I'm looking for a job, I'm going to, like, slow roll, drive Uber, explain to them that I'm trying to build this channel, apply for a casual banquet job back at the Ritz, you know. But I got to constantly be showing them I'm trying to get a job, I guess, and looking for a place to live. So I assume that'll just entail me calling places and going, oh, okay, that's too much. I can't afford it. Okay, so I tried. Yeah, can't afford that. So, but meanwhile, you know, if we can just hang in there, we will be rebuilding our town. I'm not expecting it, but I won't be surprised if my previous landlords, after they rebuild their home, take me again and offer me affordable rent, right? And that's one of my goals and dreams, is to own a part of a property here with some friends, right? Like a Tahoe property, but one where I live at all the time, and everyone else is an investor. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I lost my place. Sorry about that. Anyway, another day I'll explain my goal with a piece of property, because that's a dream, and I want to share that with you, because some of my friends, or even people I don't really know yet, might want to own a house with me here. You know, my dream home, the place I want to die at someday. If I am on title and I live in it, property taxes will be real small, right? One good reason to be a partner with me. And, oh, I know what I was going to say. So, you know, on this dream property, one of the things I want to do with it, to do the right thing in life, is rent space out to one person, and at least, or maybe 2, but 1 for $500 a month, right? A price at which they can afford a good life. Someone I know, maybe someone likes, but someone I just know works and is honest and do the right thing. And if you've got tons of money and you own properties and you want to do the right thing, rent rooms out for $500 instead of whatever, the most you can get. Don't think, oh, I should get the most I can get. Think, oh, how can I help this person working for a wage, paying taxes, afford shoes for his kid? Oh, yeah, you don't overcharge on rent. And maybe if you don't need that money, don't just take it from the poor. You know, I mean, some people have no choice. They're on a tight margin. But if you got big fat margins and you don't really need all that money, rethink the way you charge people rent. If you're a freaking landowner, apartment owner, you know, and think about being an American patriot, or a patriot to your country, by helping somebody who's doing everything the right way afford food for their kids and gas, and you know what I mean? Anyway, all right, I know that's a lot. It's a lot. Thanks for watching All Good Things and All Good Time. And thanks for doing no harm and no crime. That's how we make the world a better place, by doing less. Aloha.